During that, I think that we could probably invite Raul. You could come on over across the hall, and he's got an office across the hall from us, and perhaps you'd like to have an office on our side. That's terrific.
He has space.
Well, we don't, but I'll talk to you about that. But thank you very much for being here and those kind words. And of course, Bob Hoag's name comes up, and we all have lots of stories about Bob. I guess I don't need the microphone there. Let me just say here, let me move this on to something a little bit different. But anyway, we all have lots of stories about Bob because he was a central figure, of course, in this department for many, many years. He served as a mentor to us, and I have so many fond memories of how Bob had such an impact on me in particular and the entire department, everybody. And so what I think is what we'll see throughout this symposium, we'll hear lots of stories about Bob. And I really look forward to hearing about those stories as well. And so I will refrain from giving you a lot of my stories. But in the meantime, I just wanted to set up this symposium and talk about moving forward and not just looking back at the last 50 years. This is something that, when we talk about data science and how it relates to statistical science and so forth, I have a little diagram here just kind of showing the evolution of data science and the statistical sciences. And if you go way back, of course, statistical science and data science were essentially the same thing. Okay? But I think that as time goes on and went on, we went through a period here, say 33 to 67. These dates, of course, are arguable, and people would argue with me about these particular dates. But that would be kind of the golden era of the mathematical statistics. Then we started seeing the computers come in. Okay? We're at this point right now where things are blowing up. We all know about big data and so forth. But just this whole idea of data science has grown commensurately with statistics, of course, the statistical sciences. We have a lot to offer, but we have to figure out exactly where we do fit in this great big enterprise known as data science. And anyway, this is something that we are right now coming to grips with. And I bring this up because this, to me, points out that we're at one of the most interesting times in statistics and actuarial science we could ever find ourselves. The number of problems that are out there, open problems, are incredibly, just growing exponentially. We see problems all the time, and so this is, especially I think about the students. I think about them as they're going through their training and getting ready to go out there. This is, I think, one of the most fascinating periods. Now, of course, alum would say back when they were going through that was exactly what they were saying or being told. I'm not sure how that went, and I'm sure that was the case, but this is blowing up. And now what we're seeing is that across disciplines, across all the disciplines, people are understanding the importance of data. Okay? We hear the phrases data-driven sciences and data-driven decisions and so forth. So anyway, this is just an exciting time, and I just wanted to point out that although we'll be doing a lot of looking back, which is very important, we also will be looking forward during this symposium. So what I had here before we get started, and actually we're about getting ready here to get started. I will go right on. I was going to describe a little bit of the department, but you know what? Most of you are familiar with the department through the years, and certainly I can direct you to web pages to see this. So I'm going to go ahead and actually introduce the moderator. So you see how this is all going. But I'm going to introduce the moderator, Professor Emeritus Jim Broffitt. And I want to mention that Jim was actually the chair of the department for, now I put down, is it 10 years? Is that right? 11 years. Oh, I don't want to short it. So 93 I put down. Is that correct? Was it 93? I think it's about it. Dick, you were the chair. You were the chair. It's right.
That is correct. Bob did it 92, 93.
Yeah. So anyway, Jim was the chair for all those years, and I have to say that he was very, very supportive of, especially for the young faculty members and so forth. So I personally appreciate that. You'll see that also that he joined the department in 1970 and became associate in the Society of Actuaries in 1980. that was something that Jim did at a time when the department really needed somebody to pick up that actuarial slack there. At the time, I think they had just, did Jim Hickman leave, or what was this?
Oh, he left before then. He left in the early 70s.
Okay,
It was really Stuart Club.
and that was it. And of course, we always had this strong actuarial science program, and so Jim stepped in. And so without further ado, I'll let the moderator do what it is that he's supposed to do. So.